Good afternoon. This is Newsfeed with me, Stanley Nyamira. Trust that you are having a wonderful afternoon. These are the day's stories. Members of Parliament allied to Kenya Kwanza have now called on President William Ruto to ensure the housing project program comes to success. The MPs have started stalled projects in the country that started with an aim of benefiting Kenyans but ended up failing due to corruption. And according to Kibwezi West Constituency Member of Parliament Mwengi Mutuse, any leader who will try to interfere with the project should be subject to harsh punishment so as to protect taxpayers' money. The MP has further lauded the housing project, reiterating that it will create job opportunities to a number of youth in the country.
Na tunataka leo tumuulize Mheshimiwa William Ruto, rais wa Kenya, kwa sababu umetuletea bungeni na tumekubali kwamba kukuwe na housing program. Yule ambaye atakula pesa ya housing program like it was in Singapore, pia huyo anyongwe, ndio hao Wakenya wapate kazi. Ama namna gani? Sababu Wakenya wamechoka kila wakati kuanza program ya serikali, alafu watu wachache wanaitumia kujibinafisha wenyewe. We do not want this program to fail. And as members of parliament, we will ensure that we do the necessary oversight. Ndio watoto wetu kama vile tumesema waweze kupata kazi. So ni lazima serikali itumie mpango, a very deliberate program ya kutafuta kazi, ndio watu wake waweze kusonga mbele. Tumefanya nini katika Kenya? Tumesema kwamba tunataka, tuko na mashida mingi. Hapa najua watu wakiambiwa story ya nyumba mnasema sasa mimi najengewa nyumba ya nini na niko na kwangu. Si ndio? Kana mweko aziende? Lakini ile tunajenga si nyumba tu, hii ni kazi tunatafuta.
And the anticipated Matatu strike, scheduled to start on Monday next week, has been cancelled following an agreement between the Federation of Public Transport Sectors and the National Transport and Safety Authority, that is NTSA. Speaking in Thika, Michael Kariuki, who is the leader of the Mount Kenya Matatu Owners Association, said that the intended strike would have paralyzed commuters and school children going for the midterm break. Kariuki added that this will give room for negotiation and that commuters can now breathe a sigh of relief as the two parties have come to a consensus over the impasse that threatens to paralyze the transport sector all over the country.
We have discussed with the authorities, both the NTSA and the police service, and we have agreed that we halt this exercise for now, and what was planned for Monday has been put on hold or postponed because we are discussing. I think it is very important that whatever action you take, you end up on the table to discuss, because even if you go to the streets, from the streets you still go to the table to discuss what made you go to the streets in the first place. Therefore, this thing has been postponed and have been stopped because we have been assured by the authorities, and this one you can take to the bank, that there will be no any operations going forward, and if there will be any, it will be communicated to us. We sit down and we see what is required and what is to be done. So we are very happy that the government listened to us and they accepted. And I also want to put our people to tell them that they are also required to adhere to the law. Nobody wants accidents. So we want to ask our people and our drivers to be careful when they are on the road.
Tutaongea na wadereva wetu, kondakta, tuwapage mzuri, hatutasubuana na serikali.
And elsewhere, the Association of Medical Engineering of Kenya, AMEC, has challenged more women to pursue biomedical engineering courses, which is male-dominated. AMEC Secretary General Millicent Law has urged the national government and county government hospitals to hire more biomedical engineers, as many hospitals in the country are currently understaffed. Law was speaking when she led a procession of AMEC members in celebrating International Women in Engineering Day in Nairobi.
The reason as to why we are here today, number one, is to call upon girls to be able to take the STEM courses, because we have realized that we have shortage of women who have done engineering courses. And as we mark this global day today, as those who have done biomedical engineering, we are calling upon the parents who are having girls, or the parents of daughters, that please allow your daughters to undertake the engineering courses, and more so biomedical engineering. The other thing that we're actually also advocating for is for the employment bodies that any government institution or any private institution that is having the biomedical engineering practice, we are calling upon you to give women who have done biomedical engineering career or courses equally opportunity, the same way you are giving to men.
We have validated today a skills lab manual that can be used with students who are in the universities and the technical colleges, and also it can be used by the staff who are in service at the hospitals to be able to continuously develop their skills.
So we advocate for those frameworks, either in terms of policy or guidelines, and at the same time empowerment of biomedical engineers through the provision of spare parts that will make it possible for them to actually equip and work on this equipment, and additionally that they do have a voice to speak for the things that are required, because even as we have the spare parts, we also need them to have training opportunities to work on the equipment that is there.
And the private developers have expressed their readiness in collaborating with the national government in bringing the housing project into success. The developers have urged the government to consider engaging them in a public-private partnership in the program. Speaking in Waiganjo, Kenyatta Road, while handing over newly constructed houses, Mrs. Africa Limited Chief Executive Officer George Mburu has opined that as developers, they're ready to offer their support in promoting the government's agenda. Mburu has further called on all developers in the country not to act as competitors with the government but collaborators of common agenda.
Hii mradi ya affordable housing tumekuwa tukifanya for the last 4 years, na tunashukuru saizi hii serikali tunaona sasa ikifanya the implementation. Serikali ambayo ilipita ya Jubilee walijaribu wakajenga nyumba takriban 1,300 to 10,000 hapo. Lakini hii tunaona serikali ya wakati huu ni kama itaweza kufanya mingi zaidi, na pia tunaweza himiza serikali. Tumekuwa tukiomba kama Mizizi Africa Homes Limited ya kwamba serikali ikaweza kupatia private developers pia mashamba, pia washike private developers mkono, kwa sababu tunajua challenge moja ya sisi kama private developers ni kitu ya kwanza ni shamba, na tukakuwa na zile mashamba. Hii ni kazi tumekuwa tukiifanya, tuko na ile tajriba, tuko na ma-experts, maforemen wetu, wengine wamesomea NYS, wengine wamesomea Polytechnic, all the TVET schools. Hawa watu ndio tumekuwa tukifanya kazi na wao, na tunajua wote hawezi kuwa absorbed ndani ya serikali. Kwa hivyo tunaomba pia serikali, sisi kama private developers, especially kama sisi Mizizi Africa Homes Limited na wale wengine ambao wamekuwa wakifanya affordable housing, serikali itushike mkono, itupatie some of the customers wenye wanataka kuwajengea, tuwajengee sisi, na pia itupatie mashamba zile imekuwa ikisema itapatia private developers, na pia tukue tunajengewa miundo msingi.
All right, let's go over to Kajiado County, where President William Ruto is currently addressing the worshippers there during an interdenominational service at Ildemat Stadium ahead of his Naivasha World Safari Rally closure this afternoon. Let's cross over and listen in.
Na shida ya gharama ya maisha. Jambo la kwanza, tumesajili wakulima wote 500,000. Na mwaka huu tumewapatia mbolea kila mkulima kiasi ya ile alikuwa anahitaji. Tumeweka pia katika budget yetu ya mwaka huu hiyo ambayo wabunge wamepitisha pesa ingine ya kuhakikisha kwamba tunaongeza mambo ya mbegu na mbolea kwa wakulima wetu mwaka unaokuja. Jambo la pili, tumeweka vile vile mpango kwa mambo ya ufugaji. Katika budget hii, for the first time, we have the largest budget in matters of livestock. Tumesema ya kwamba tunapoteza ng'ombe nyingi, mifugo, mbuzi, kondoo, ngamia kwa sababu ya mambo ya kiangazi, na zaidi kwa sababu ya mifugo yetu kukosa maji. Nimesikiza viongozi wameongea, na ndio sababu katika budget hii na mpango yetu tumeweka mpango mkubwa ya dams. Tumesema vile mumenisikia, tunajenga dams 100 kubwa, 33 tayari tumetengeneza kandarasi. Tunajenga dams karibu 1,000 zile ndogo na karibu 3,000 zile water pans in every part of Kenya. Hapa Kajiado tuko na mpango kamili ili isitokee tena ng'ombe zenu zikakufa kwa sababu ya kukosa maji, kwa sababu ya kukosa lishe. Hiyo mpango iko kati yetu. Dam ya Oloitikosh ambayo iko hapa. Jana nilikutana kule Paris na president wa Africa Development Bank ambao wanatusaidia kujenga hiyo dam. Dam ya kule mpango ya maji ya kutoka kule Kilimanjaro. Ile Nolturesh ambayo itakuja mpaka itafika hapa Konza City. Lakini kabla kufika Konza City itatembea hiyo Kajiado, Amboseli, hiyo dunia yote, Kajiado South.
And live pictures in Kajiado will be updating you on our subsequent bulletins. Definitely expect matters, the controversial housing fund and the new and the maiden budget. Will be telling you all that later on. And now to matters health. West Pokot Senator Julius Murgor and former West Pokot Governor John Lonyangapuo have called on the government to declare cancer as a national disaster and allocate enough funds to fighting cancer scourge in the country. This was raised on Saturday at Sioi area in West Pokot County during the burial of the wife of the former Sigor Member of Parliament, Philip Rotino Peris Jepchumba, who succumbed to cervical cancer after a long battle with the disease. The leaders said many cancer deaths have been reported in the West Pokot County, adding that poor Kenyans are suffering as the disease has made many families poor after spending and depleting a lot of money for treatment inside and outside the country.
Cancer ilikuwa very rare zamani. Kile imekuja siku hizi sababu ya lifestyles yetu vile imekuja. Ningesema tu ya kwamba sababu dunia imebadilika, hata sisi pia tujaribu kubadilisha na kuangalia. Mama Jeptindi Umereba amesema kujipima. Watu wasipokuwa wakiambiwa kujipima, watu wengi wanastuka. Hata ukiambiwa twende kujipime kwa ile ugonjwa ya ukimwi, mtu anastuka na kusema sitaki kuonekana. You know, mwili yako ndio inatakana ichungwe na tunakuhitaji sababu ya services yako. So nimeungana niseme poleni, tuendelee hata tujichunge vile hapa imesema.
Hii ugonjwa wa kansa inatunyemelea sana katika kaunti yetu. Ningeomba ya kwamba tuwe na jinsi assessments ya mapema ingeweza kufanywa au kuwe na section ambayo ni ya kuassess hii ugonjwa ili iweze kusaidika katika level ya mapema, kwa sababu ifikapo sasa stages kama 3, 4 inakuwa ngumu kupona, na kwa hivyo tutengeneze hospitali yetu iwe na jinsi ya kufanya assessment ili ionekane mapema.
And from West Pokot County to Garissa County, where the Deputy County Commissioner Solomon Chesut has put land cartels in Garissa town on notice following renewed conflicts in which a police officer and a civilian were seriously injured in Bula Burburis in Galbet ward. The incident happened when the police officers moved to quell clashes between the two groups, both claiming ownership of a piece of land but were overpowered by the gun-wielding militia. Chesut was speaking during a one-day workshop which brought together security officers, elders, women and the youth in a bid to discuss the thorny issue and come up with a lasting solution, and further added that the government will act tough on any individual out to disrupt peace and security of the area.
Ganya ardhi yangu wameleta karatasi ambayo ni wabadia. Wakati nimeenda pale wameniambia uko na barua, nikaambia hapana sina. Wameniambia enda kwa polisi, enda andika statement. Na nikienda kwa polisi, mimi najua hakuna kitu itanisaidia.
Tuliongea, tumefikia suluhisho ya usalama na kamati fulani imetolewa kulinda ama kuongea kuhusu ile ardhi watu wanapigania. Tukaongea kuhusu security pia ambao pia tumesuluhisha, na tulifikia kwamba tukiwa na security committee ya Garissa tulifikia suluhisho ya kwamba hii mzozo ya ardhi itaisha kutoka Garissa. Kwa hivyo watu wa Garissa kijumla nawaelezea kwamba mzozo mwingine wa watu kupigana ndani ya Garissa ambao kuhusu ardhi tumeongea na itakuwa misho na kuna kamati imetolewa.
Tumeletea sisi hapa watu wetu ndio wanasozana kila wakati wanagongana sababu ya ardhi. Hiyo ardhi serikali ya Kenya bado toa ardhi suku karibu. Tangu 1998 hajatoa hata barua moja ambaye anaosu ardhi. Kila mtu anakaa mahali popote anataka, anafunga fence kubwa sana, ingine anauza, ingine anakaa, ingine anauza anajenga nyumba, ingine anauza ananunua gari, ingine anauza anawatoa watoto fee. Ikimaliza hapo anahama tena anaenda mahali ingine India. Wale watu anakamua namna hiyo ardhi kwa sababu hana mali ingine, mali yao imeisha na ukame. Yuko watu ingine sasa wanatoka Nairobi na watu wenye pesa wanachukua barua bandia ama total D bandia, amechukua Nairobi, anakuja hapa, anatafuta mahali ya watu, wanakuja ardhi ya watu, anasema hii ardhi ni yangu.
Well, in case you've been enjoying the whole Naivasha memes, let me give you a glimpse of what is really happening there. So, Naivasha has become a common phrase for the third year running as the World Rally Championship hits Naivasha mid-June each year with an influx of fans from the East African community, but not all comprehend the dawn-to-dusk nitty-gritties. Our reporter Willie Dennis Njiru captured the best and decide night moments and brings us this report.
This is the swing mood on the flip side of thousands of the World Rally Championship fans and revelers that storm the lakeside town of Naivasha in the day to have a glance as drivers best showcase steering wheels. By night, led by the sports CS Ababu Namwamba, the town is lit by best dancing shoes.
We are giving young artists an opportunity to make money and break into the big time. Previously, you have had events like this, and then when you have a concert, it is foreign artists who come to perform. This year we have said no.
In what seems to be a revitalization of the sports and talent in the country, Namwamba says he has his sleeves rolled upwards and leading from the front to ensure that the rather frustrated lot, the youth, make maximal utility of what they have.
I believe that you don't get what you expect. You get what you inspect. Failing to plan is planning to fail. And for you to plan well, you have to plan with, for, and of the people. And so my philosophy is very simple. This is the Ministry of Young People, it's the Ministry of Youth, it's the Ministry of the Arts, it's the Ministry of Sports. You have to stay engaged. As we say from Western Kenya, mundu humundu.
The government, through its initiative in the Talanta Mtaani in the sports ministry, sponsored local talents in this year's rally with more hopes in upcoming rally drivers expected to join the academy in Kasarani in Nairobi.
Rallying is a game of resilience, is a game of endurance, is a game of persistence. As part of this 70th anniversary, President William Ruto launched on June 9th the first ever rallying school that is going to be part of the Kenya Academy of Sports.
And as usual, for the enthusiastic Namwamba, called upon Kenyans from all walks of life to emulate their Ugandan counterparts to get up and cheer up our own in spirit of sportsmanship.
Those who are not in Naivasha yet, guys, you don't know what you're missing. Sherehe imeshika, okay? Make your way to Naivasha. If you cannot walk, literally crawl to Naivasha, but get here.
Reporting for TV 47 from Naivasha in Nakuru County, I'm Willie Dennis Njiru.
My director, Nick Mavindi, is really hurt by that. The fact that he's not in Naivasha he tells me he's going after this particular bulletin. Elsewhere, Nyamira County Assembly members led by Majority Leader Elijah Osemo, Lands Chair Duke Masira and Nyambega Gisese have condemned sentiments made by Kisii Governor Paul Simbarati and Women Rep Doris Donya Abure over Keroka border dispute case currently in court. The MCAs accused Arati over his statement that Nyamira County government cannot display responsibility on previously collected revenues from Keroka market. The Nyamira County MCAs are now demanding respect from leaders towards Governor Amos Nyaribo and county leadership.
If you are aggrieved, the best thing to do, or the most civilized way, is to go to court. As Nyamira, we are fighting for what belongs to us. We all agreed that we are supposed to live as brothers and sisters. But when one is offended, the only way you have is to go to court. And that is exactly what we've done in a very civilized way. We don't want to divide our people. Leadership is seen when there is a crisis. This is the time to show exactly why we were elected as leaders.
Waheshimu katiba na waheshimu mipaka ambayo imewekwa kule Keroka, Kemera. Tunaenda Nyamira, lazima tutaitetea. Lazima sisi kama viongozi tuko tayari. Na sisi sio waoga, si watu wa kupiga kelele. Na nawaambia hivi, wasione Simba wamenyeshewa wakafikiria ni paka. Simba ni yule yule, na bado tutasema kwamba tutatetea mipaka yetu kama viongozi kutoka Nyamira.
Brother neighbor governor from Kisii County, that this is not the time to exchange. If there is anything that we should do, we call each other around the table, we agree, and then we know where is Kisii County supposed to meet the targets of the revenue and the Nyamira one.
Tunaomba ukuwe na respect kwa mahakama. Mahakama ipewe haki na ipewe time ya kupeana haki kwa wananchi.
Meanwhile, Kenya National Union teachers have called upon the government to ensure security in areas of the Kerio Valley, which have been witnessing insecurity for a while due to livestock theft. According to the NAT representative of NAT Union, Mercy Muthoni, teachers are the most affected due to lack of security, while asking the government to put priority on the teachers' security. Sentiments echoed by NAT KU Branch Secretary General Musa Busiene. The teachers were speaking during the annual meeting, which was used to elect NAT KU Branch Deputy Secretary General Kenneth Kipchirchir in a contest that attracted 3 candidates.
Woman representative at Kenya National Union of Teachers headquarters in Nairobi, elected by the teachers. What we are saying is that our teachers, their lives are very important. If all the teachers in Kenya died, what would happen to our children? So we are calling on the government to crack down on those people who are making life difficult for our teachers and even our students. The lives of our teachers are sacrosanct and they need to be protected. So we are calling upon the government not just to say they are doing something, but we should see what they are doing about the lives of our teachers in those bandit-prone areas.
We had a wonderful 2023 KNUT